All right, thank you guys. All right, this is, I guess, the second talk. Welcome to WordCamp Orlando. It's the first time I've spoken here. I have done a similar talk. I think the last time I did this was possibly Jacksonville, possibly, no, I think it might have been Tampa last fall. Things have changed. I think for the good. But let me talk about who I am. I am Aaron Reimann, not Reimann, Reimann. I am a web developer and the COO of Sideways 8, and I kind of hate using titles like that, but we are big enough where I run operations. My business card actually says former coder because I don't get to do as much of that as I used to. I tweet there, agency, Sideways 8, we're Atlanta based. I blog here, my slides are actually, I'll show you a link in a minute, I think. But it's aaronreimann.com/slides. You can follow along. I have 160 something slides, and so I'll be flying, So we're gonna be here skipping lunch, and no. It's
turn it into a book.
Yes, so book that changes all the time. I help lead the Atlanta Meetup, the WordCamp in Atlanta also. I got 4 kids and work out of my house, so it can be loud, especially I got 3 girls and then the youngest is a boy. And my goodness, girls are timid and quiet and the boy is intense. I also lead tours to Israel, so if you want to go, let me know. So each case is different. We have a lot of clients. We've built probably over the years, we've been around for 7 years, probably built a few hundred websites. One year we did 55 websites, which is insane. But we've gotten bigger. We're building more sites, and we build a lot less now. But each client is different. Sometimes they don't need a page builder. Sometimes they need a whole lot more. And we can build things custom if we need to. But the reason why we started using page builders is it's difficult in WordPress to have 2 images side by side without using the gallery. You have to put divs in there, some inline CSS and whatnot, and to me it's kind of a nightmare. So if you don't know HTML, and I've been doing web since '96, so doing some alignments, pretty simple, but not for your client that's an accountant. So a page builder helps them out significantly. We also don't have to charge someone a fortune. If they need a slider, we don't have to build it from scratch. We can put a page builder in there, sliders in, they put images in, that's 30 minutes of work. It's cheaper for them. So I am comparing plugins that also can be run separately, okay? So there are some page builders that only work within their theme. It's the only way to use it. Like, I think Avada does that. Headway, lots of ones like that. I think that people should be able to use the page builder on a Genesis theme if they want to use a Genesis theme. In the past, I had covered some things like Headway, Conductor, Themify, Velocity. How many of you guys have used Visual Composer? How many of you guys like Visual Composer? I think 1, 2. So I'm not comparing that one. That one was the first one that I started using. I thought it was amazing. It's a little buggy for me. My agency went from using that to Divi, and now we use Beaver Builder. But I'm going to be comparing these 5. I think the description says 3. It's hard to just pick 3. Why these 3? Well, Site Origin, probably one of the most simple ones, but it has 1 million installs. 1 million. So they, I think, have been around the longest. Then we've got Elementor with 300 and Beaver Builder for 400,000. So in the stats for Beaver Builder are a little skewed. It's probably much higher because once you've purchased it, you install the Pro version, and it no longer calls home, I guess. And so the WordPress repository doesn't know if you're using the Pro version. So my guess is, there's probably 50,000, more using the paid version. What is a page builder? How many of you guys are familiar with page builders? 90%. Let's go. No. Page builder, basically, I'm going to simplify it dramatically. It gives us columns where you can drop content in. And it makes it easier for you to rearrange things. It allows you to put a slider in, an accordion, all kinds of functionality built in. Saves you just hours, especially if you don't know how to write code. It's definitely worth looking into these. I'm going to start off with Gutenberg. How many of you guys used Gutenberg? We got one? Micah Wood. Well done. So Gutenberg is basically what you're going to use. It is developed by the WordPress people. Automatic developers and whatnot. It makes me laugh a little bit because we have these statistics down here. The most recent, as of I think yesterday or the day before, the title of the review was "What the hell," which that's not real helpful. It's much better to explain why you don't like it. But that's okay. You have no choice pretty soon. When Gutenberg is installed, it's just a plugin you add currently, and it makes your your editor look like this versus the extremely old school looking tiny MCE editor that I've been using since 2003 or something like that, and it to me hasn't really changed in that time. And by the way, I'm doing screenshots because trying to demo all of these local, I'm going to screw something up and it's not going to work. So screenshots work enough for me. You can very quickly add the title, add some Was ist Gutenberg? Ein bisschen. Anyway, it allows you to put content in. I started typing in here. Once I hit enter, this became this wonderful block, which I thought was pretty cool. So if I have 2 paragraphs now, before you would have to copy and paste that, or copy, cut, paste. But now you can grab that paragraph and drop it down. You can, once you hit this little settings button, brings up this over here where you can select the text and color it, put the background in there, change the fonts and whatnot, all on the fly, and it's very fast. JavaScript, I don't know what it's using now to do all that, but it's, as far as library-wise, but it is pretty handy. You have basically all of the modules that you normally would have in TinyMCE. You want to add a picture, you go down here, hit image, you upload it or insert from the media library, and then you get a picture of my mom. What's up, Mom? And you can, we're blinded by the sun, but you can you can shrink it, edit it, add captions and whatnot, and it's really fast. When you publish, and I'm going to be going back and forth a lot, but when you publish, you get this. Obviously, I'm using 2017, which to me is super plain, but it works. That's Gutenberg. I'm not going to go into any of these in depth, okay, because we don't have time. But it's simple. It's much better than what we currently use. It is free and in the repository, and resistance is futile, because this is going to be in, I think, 5.0, WordPress 5.0. Can anybody correct me? I got a from somebody. So you're going to be using this. You're still going to be able to use other page builders if you want. It'll just kind of override Gutenberg. My guess is it's not going to be called Gutenberg at some point because it's going to be in core. To me, it isn't a page builder. It's more like it manipulates content, because most page builders will install, you could put a slider in. This just allows you to move images and text around. I think it's pretty good for what it is. Page builder by site origin. Like I said, this has 1 million installs. It's also, as far as I know, the oldest page builder out there. It is in the WordPress repository. It also has great reviews and 1 million installs, and it's updated. This will probably be like 5 days ago, so it's very current. They also have a paid version, paid modules. So if you need something fancy, or you want to support the people that build the plugin, which is always good. I'm going to push that a little bit. You can go buy a module or two. There are the premium modules. I think there's about 12 to 16 of them, something to that effect. I don't have the paid version. The other ones, I'm going to have a paid version, so there might be some features. I don't think, or it does not have a real-time page builder, so front-end editor. Okay, so if you're going to make a change, you make it on the back end, you hit save, you open a new tab, you refresh the page, and you see what you've built. Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes the clients are okay with that. But when you have the plugin active, it adds a little page builder button. You push that button, and boom. You can add these modules in here. I go in and I just hit the add row, and it brings this up. I think I can go up to 12 columns, rearrange them as I want. I can make one 33%, the other one 17, et cetera, et cetera. It gives us this. This really is a very easy way to start adding images and have them organized, which is pretty cool. Oh, you can hit the little wrench. Where'd my laser go? There it is. And you can edit the row in there, and then you can also click on one of these 4 boxes, and it brings up all of the WordPress widgets. I can select image. When I add an image, it adds this on the left, and I can edit this and select an image that I want. Boom, boom. And it'll show up. I'm going to add another module in here, which is a text. Where is it? Site origin image versus a normal just WordPress image. It gives you a little more control over it. I'll show you kind of the difference. I thought this part was kind of weird. When you hit site origin image, it makes you install a little widget. Kind of awkward. You only have to do it once. You click install, activate it. Boom, there's a bundle that gives you some more features. You go back, and this is what it looks like. So it's slightly different than what is built in WordPress, but you get the picture. It's similar enough. It doesn't look awkward. It looks WordPress-ish. Select the image, shows up there. I can put text in. Boom, we've got these little options in here. I can drag this text module and drop it in here, which is pretty awesome. Simple enough. You view it on the front end. It's horrible because I didn't realize that on this theme I don't have as much space, so I can just add a new row, drag the images and the objects I want around, and then we can do something like that. Pretty simple. If you tried to do that without a page builder, it would be pretty time consuming. It has some built-in layouts, so you can, which all of these, Divi, Beaver Builder, and Elementor have all of these layouts also, okay? What's a layout? You can hit add a layout, and what it does is it's basically kind of like a page template. So once you select one of these, it auto-fills, puts all of these elements in here. So here's the hero image that we saw here, and then these boxes below it, here. You view it on the front end. I'm going to show you a long page of these layouts. So if you're looking for a landing page, you have some text you want to swap out, some images you want to swap out, real simple, easy way to do it. And like I said, all of the other page builders have this type of feature, so I'm not going to go into each one of them in depth. Like I said, it's free, and in the repository, as far as features, it's kind of low compared to the others, but it's free, so that's good. And it is the number one thing to me on this one. It's missing a front-end editor. So to me, that's a major, feature that's missing. Divi, and there's the Divi Builder that you can install and put it on any theme. And then it can work with any theme. And then there's the Divi theme itself. When you have the plugin active, you have some options over here. When you have that builder active and then you activate the theme, we get errors. So don't have Divi plugin installed when you have the theme active, because you're installing it twice, basically. So you can go and deactivate the plugin. And I'm actually going to switch over to the Divi Builder. And once we have just the Divi installed, we have this beautiful purple button. And I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to go a little faster here. This is the back end. You can insert columns in here. I switch from here into the front end. Brings this up. I skip it because I know enough about Divi to go through here. This is 2017 theme. It allows us to modify only the content. So just this one little section of the page. Sorry, I've not switched over. When I switch over to the Divi theme, let me do this. I'm going to add columns, and then I'm going to switch over to the Divi theme. And then once Divi is active, it gives us full control over the content. We're not, stuck in this little section of the editing the text and whatnot. Going into the back end, the theme options, we can swap out. So you can see up here we have the Divi logo menu over here. You can control the logo, the fave icon, how you want things, like default colors and whatnot. You can turn certain modules off. So if you don't want a user to have, like here, if you do the editor, we don't want them to have sliders, because someone will put 50 sliders on a page. And so if you want to lock them down, you can. This is moving away from the theme options here, and this is layouts. You can build layouts and save them. So I can do a call to action. So if I go back here and hit add new, bring this up, I can add elements in here, call to action. Here's my little call to action in here. I can drag it over and whatnot. I don't know what this looks like really, so I'm going to go to the back end. Here's my little call to action. I'm going to move that over on the left. Gives me more room. I can edit it by hitting this settings thing, and I can start labeling things. I scroll down a little bit, and we put a link in here, and then the buy now is in there. Okay, that's a call to action where you can also change all of the options. You can also apply classes. In every one of these page builders, you can add a class. So a CSS class to an element. So if you want to control colors and things like that on the via CSS, you can apply that. spacing, size, animation. You can have this box when you scroll down slide up to bring attention to it. And that's pretty common in the other page builders. Now this is, that was the layout editor. This is the page builder, but it's very similar. You hit plus, you can add text in here. You can add a new row, select the image you want, boom, boom. There's your image, there's your text, boom. You can just continue on down. Then you can add sliders, all kinds of functionality that would take me a long time to build from scratch. That's what it looks like once I'm finished editing. I hit save, and there's my page. Okay. All but Gutenberg has all these crazy features. You can load in all of the WordPress modules as normal, and then you can do all kinds of extra modules that I can't go through without sucking up all day, because you can spend 30 minutes trying to get a call to action looking the way you want it to look, but you have a whole lot of control. Problem I see with Divi is that there is no free version. So if you like it, you go to elegantthemes.com, you purchase it, then you can tinker with it. It finally got a front end. 3.0 just came out maybe a month ago, and the front end is there, so you finally can do stuff real time and see what it's kind of like WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. If you're old school and you know that acronym. I remember WordPress, WordPerfect. WYSIWYG was a big deal back then, okay? So, shows you how old I am. Active installs, who knows, because it's not in the WordPress repository. It obviously has page templates. It's great for landing pages. It has reusable modules, so if you create a call to action, you can save it, drag it over when on any page, and you can reuse it. It has its own theme. As far as I can tell, it does not have a large community behind it, whereas something like Beaver Builder there's tons of companies basically building modules for it. I could be wrong about that. Google, figure that out. I couldn't find anything quite of what Beaver Builder has. The company that builds it, Elegant Themes, I've had a subscription for that for 6+ years probably, because we used to use their themes all the time. So they're not going anywhere, which is always good. I know some of the ones that I mentioned before that I'm not covering are kind of dwindling or don't exist anymore. All right, got to go even faster. Beaver Builder. This is my favorite one. I have an affiliate link for it, so you can give me money if you want, if you purchase it. So like I said, I went from some other ones to this one. This is what I use currently. I like it the most. My company, we do a thing called 48 and 48. We've built a WordPress multi-tenancy where we can spin up 48 WordPress installs based on a spreadsheet with a company's or a nonprofit's name and email address. And we do 48 websites, 48 nonprofits in 48 hours. And the first event we had, we didn't have a page builder. We used Genesis, and it was a nightmare, and it was really hard to have 150 people learning that very quickly. Now we've done probably 7 or 8 other events: New York, Boston, Atlanta. Next year we're doing London, and people can learn it very quickly. Same with Elementor and Divi, but this one seems to be the best for us. It's in the repository. It has 400,000 somewhere installs, great ratings. Here's the website for the paid version. All these modules you can turn on and off. When you have it activated, you have this button. You click on that button, or tab, I guess, and it brings up the editor. That is totally different as of like 2 weeks ago, which I'm glad I didn't start doing screenshots 3 weeks ago, because everything would be very, very different. But I knew that was happening soon, so I waited. So we were able to edit just this section. But if we go and we switch it to the Beaver Builder theme, go over here and we activate it, gives us full control over the page. We can even edit. This is default padding of 20 pixels or margin, and you can turn that off if you want, so you can get full, both sides, edge to edge, wall to wall, whatever you want to call it. You have all of these standard modules. Add some rows. You go over here to your modules. You can add an image. You select it from the WordPress library and edit things there. We can add a new module, a text module, and we have something gorgeous. Text and an image. We can add a call to action button, and when we go, one second. Oh, each one of these modules, you can go into advanced, and this is where you can modify how much padding you want, if it's visible on mobile or only desktop or swap, whichever. And then you can do little animations where text slides in from the left and whatnot. If you hit Save As, this is where you can apply your CSS IDs and classes. And like I said, Divi has it, Beaver Builder has it, Elementor has it. When you go and you edit your call to action over here, you can hit Save As. I label it something. I can make it global. If it's global, anytime, let's say I put it on all 153 web pages on the site, I can go and edit this global module. I change it one place, it's updated all 153, which I think is pretty sweet. Divi, Elementor, Beaver Builder has that type of capabilities with the paid version. So I save it, there it is. I can then go over here and add a module and drag it over here. So I have my call to actions, which would be stupid to have it on the same page, but just demoing it here. This is the theme options. You can change the header, move this over, upload a logo, put the menu here, move it from here to over here, et cetera, et cetera. Full control over the pages. And this is why we really like it for 48 and 48, because we are able to give a designer full control. So if you like, you need an image that goes all the way to the edge and whatnot, you can do that. You want to change out your fonts, they have the whole Google font library in there, 700 something fonts. The Beaver Themer, this is a new feature that allows me to do some magic. This is an extra cost here, but I can activate the Beaver Themer. I can go into layouts. I can tell it, this is a theme layout. I'm going to do the blog header. And this is why one of the main reasons I like this. I can do location. Okay, so I'm building a layout, and I tell it, you know what? I only want it to show up on the post or the post archive. Okay, so or on 404 pages or both. And I hit where is it? Launch Page Builder, and I can make, this is ugly, but whatever, gets the picture. This is a different header, so I can have. I save that. I can have the home page have a header look like this and a blog page look like this. And you can be very specific. So if you have a specific page that you want to have a total different look and feel, like maybe for a landing page, you can do that very easily. This is where we have the community of Beaver Builder. There's Power Packs and Ultimate add-ons. We have both of those on the platform for 48 and 48, and it gives people a ton more control. They're both paid things, but it just shows how big the community is. So it's free and in the repository. It's all front end. Tons of features, 400,000 installs. It has reusable modules in its own theme, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Elementor. I'm going to go run a little over in here. So this is Elementor in the repository, 300,000 installs. This is their website where you can purchase it. Just like the other ones, we've got a button, throws us in. We've got a thing like this. Again, the editor is right there. I can go in. I'm going to change the theme over to a theme that I like better. Gives us a little more space in here. It does not have its own theme, okay? So, but it does give you the ability to edit. There's a thing called Elementor Canvas, and the canvas gives us full control over the page. You add columns. You add some text over here. You add an image over here. My kid's sideways, I'm not sure why. I had to go in and rotate the image in here. But real easy to add images just like the other ones. There's all these global settings in here, and this is where I'm going to make this not be quite as ugly. I go to page settings, or global settings, I think. And then I can control each page color, padding, CSS, et cetera, et cetera. We hit save. It's super fast as far as the saving process. And this is what it looks like. What's up, Izzy? We can change the layout again from Elementor Canvas over to 2016, I think. And that's what your page looks like. It is free and in the repository. It's all front end, has a ton of features, tons of installs. It is, I think, the newest, if you don't include Gutenberg. Elementor, when I first did this talk in March of 2016, Elementor did not exist. Beaver Builder has been around, I think, twice as long as Elementor. The fact that it has 300,000 installs versus Beaver Builder has 400, I think it's growing faster. I don't really know, but it could be. Advice. Download these, play with them. There's free ones, and you might love Site Origin, even though it's simple. That might be all you need. You might not want your clients to have as much control as Beaver Builder or Elementor has. But if you like it, drop like $50. Buy it, help out these developers. It gives you so much control and so much power that if I were to build a slider from scratch, I would be, spending 20 hours on it, and I'd be charging you a whole lot more than $50. So probably in the thousands range, So if you are using this strictly for landing pages and you don't want to pay for the add-on of the theme, okay? Because most of the themes, the free versions don't include this theme that allows you to have full control, gives you wall-to-wall control. This guy named Aaron forked a plugin and created this thing called Blank Slate. So it's basically when you go to a page that's using that template, it's a white page. It looks really boring unless you're using a page builder. You can install that and go have wall-to-wall control. It's got good reviews, and only 3 of them are people I personally know, But I said, please, go give me some. But I had, I think the 12th comment guy, he reached out to me and said, hey man, can I give you some money? And I'm like, sure. So he gave me, I think, $15 or something for the plugin, which, kind of cool. He said he's installed it on 50 sites. He felt obligated to do something, which I think is pretty cool. That's, to me, kind of the attitude you should have. Boom. All right, 5 minutes over. That's not bad. So, like I said, it would have been very difficult for me to demo all of these on the fly. So that's why I use screenshots. And I know I'm just kind of clicking through pretty quickly. I do have all the slides on my site. I also have an affiliate link. So if you buy it, I'll get like enough to get like Starbucks, maybe. Depends on if I want syrup. If I want syrup on it, it might not cover that. But anyway, I will leave it. First, I'll be here all day and tomorrow. So hit me up if you have questions. But I will leave it open. How much time do we have for question? 10, 15 minutes? All right, hit me up. Yes?
For someone that builds sites from scratch and uses something like advanced custom fields and stuff, so everything from scratch, which one would you recommend that would be a good transition for sites that need to turn out faster?
Yeah, so that's basically the reason why we use as a somewhat large agency compared to things in the WordPress community. It is important to use a page builder because the client needs that control. What we like is Beaver Builder because it does have add-ons to work with things like what is Josh's plugin for? No, they have pods. Pods to do those custom posts, and I think they have the same type of functionality for advanced custom fields. So it ties in to Beaver Builder pretty well, which is nice. All the way in the back.
About performance, because one of the big problems with those builders is they're loaded. Like VC, my God, sometimes it takes like 5 seconds to load a page.
Yeah.
What is your experience with it?
One reason I don't like VC, Visual Composer, it's going to slow your site down a little bit. It's a lot of CSS. Beaver Builder uses Twitter Bootstrap as its columns and whatnot, so it adds a decent amount. I have not done testing comparing the 3 or 4 of them side by side, doing the same type of images and text and all that stuff. I don't know, but to me at that point it turns into hosting and caching. Pay for good hosting. So that's just my take on it. One second row there, and then.
I saw you do this at the Tampa WordCamp last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been using Beaver Builder since. Which advanced menu plugin do you recommend? I've used Uber Menu for a while, and I tried Hero Menu. It just seems like sometimes there's just conflicts between.
I've only used. We normally do our own menu, our own CSS and whatnot. Uber, it's Uber Menu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used it once. That's way too much for me. I mean, it could be great for certain situations, but I can't recommend anything for
I
it.
have one comment too.
Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was great about the last time you did this, and maybe you had more time, it was very influential for me to move from Divi to Beaver Builder based on the fact that your content gets locked into.
I decided not to go into that because I think it's too much information.
Out of the ones that you talked about, which is Divi the only one that?
Divi is shortcode driven, okay? Right. So if you guys know what that is, you're building a page, and I could be wrong with 3.0, but up until 3.0 and maybe 3, it is shortcode driven. So if you decide your whole site is using Divi, and you decide, you know what, I want to go to Beaver Builder, and you disable the Divi page builder, your page just has a bunch of shortcodes in there. Something like Beaver Builder or Elementor, you decide to go away from that, It's not shortcode driven. It might not be pretty, but at least if you have images and text on there, it's still going to be there. It's not going to have the styling. I know a guy that's writing a plugin to convert shortcodes into real, basically HTML, so you could move away to basically to solve that problem. So yes.
When you was talking about performance, does that make a difference on performance, whether it's shortcode or not?
Maybe by like the nanosecond type thing. I don't think so. I mean, WordPress processes it pretty quickly. So let me get yes.
So I custom built my sites on Genesis, but it would be so much nicer to use this. Obviously, how would you transition from something you totally built out?
I wouldn't necessarily transition. I would. It depends on your environment. To me. A client's probably not going to pay me if I just built something, to go back to for
your own site.
your own site. Yeah, see, that's sometimes it applies to just one person. So anyway, how would I move? Honestly, I probably would set up a different WordPress install, and it'd probably be a manual process.
Play well together.
You can install Beaver Builder into Genesis, and you could go that route, see how it works, and then if you're happy with the way the content works and that, you could switch themes. So I've never done it. I've never really liked Genesis. It's just wonky. But someone over here? No?
It was me. She answered my question.
Oh, okay. I'm like, okay. I can't see anything over here because of a blind spot, so I'm going to focus over here now. Yes?
So how's the extensibility on these things if we want to add to them, make our own plugins for it and such?
I'll let you know in about 3 months because we're building a site for visual impaired. And it's going to be Beaver Builder. So as far as I know, they do an okay job, but I can't really, seriously, I mean, like in 3 months, reach out to me, and I might hate Beaver Builder. I don't know.
So that is actually another question I had, but what I was going for was if we wanted to build our own plugins and such to extend the functionality of these, are there any that are better or worse?
All we've extended is Beaver Builder. We've added modules for it. Nothing that is releasable or anything. They're normally pretty custom, but I didn't want to do something special for that client I wanted to be basically drag something from Beaver Builder into the page, but it was pretty easy to do. That has all the hooks and filters and all that magic you need to extend that. Yes? Oh, okay. Yes. I'll get you in a second.
Have you tried the live editor with Site Origin?
With what?
With Site Origin.
Is there a live one?
Yep. Came out in version 2.
Really?
Yep. Real time.
So my demo's wrong. Okay. No, it was not.
Actually, in your clip you had,
Mm-hmm.
the button was there. It's an extra button.
Is it?
Yes. And it's,
Last time I did it, it did not have that. So,
it says live page on it. You click that and you get all.
okay, I need to edit my slides. So, all right, it does have a live editor, so I apologize. So, did not know that. Yes?
I can use page builders within Enfold and Aveda.
Yeah.
Okay with it. But one of the things I like about it is the functionality to be able to go from the page builder to the raw coding. Just clean it up a lot of times or add some assignments in. Do all of these page builders offer that same flexibility?
It's easy to go, obviously, into the page builder. Going back is a little difficult. I don't know if you can do that with Divi. I know you can do it with Beaver Builder. Because I think it's shortcode driven. If you go back, you lose it. I could be wrong. Anyone Divi expert that can answer that question? I think I'm right. So I might not be. So anything else? Yeah.
How would Beaver Builder say compare to a Fusion builder?
I'm not familiar with Fusion. Is that a theme that has a page builder built in?
It looks like with Avada.
Okay. I'm not familiar. I know I don't like Avada. And everybody that I know that inherits a site that's Avada is not real happy with it. And it's a little frustrating for me, especially I spent like 10 hours migrating 3.2 something to 5.0, and it was a nightmare. So but yes, someone, no? All right. Hit me up if you guys have questions. I'll be here for just a little bit, and then I'll be around for the rest of the weekend. So thank you. Yeah.
Are the builders responsive, or do you have to do your own CSS?
Yeah, they're responsive. So almost, and you have a lot of control over that too, which is